I thought I'd start off this next video with showing you that I had been working on the cabinet and I started toning it. Now I realize it's a little bit dark. In fact, I wasn't actually expecting it to come out this dark. This is actually light walnut. So, yeah, and that's 2 coats. I couldn't get 1 coat to cover it completely, so I'm going to go ahead and rub some of this down, make it a little bit lighter. It was 2 coats on the top, and on the front I did 3, and as you can see that's pretty darn dark. So this is just the beginning. I ran into a little snag. I did this last night, and part of the problem I had this morning when I woke up to check to see how much shrinkage I had and whatnot, sometime in the middle of the night some of the veneer popped off and bubbled, which I found rather interesting from the toner, because well, that's not good. I wasn't quite expecting that because I've already put I put in the grain filler, sanded that off, let that dry for a couple days, and then I put on sanding sealer and sanded that down nice and smooth. So I just shot this with a couple of spritzes of the toner. Was not expecting that the toner would cause the glue to pop off or come unseated. So I'm in the middle of repairing that. It popped up, this end piece popped up, and it bubbled over here, up there, and actually part of the wood separated on this. Like I said, I don't get it. It's not like I got it soaking wet with the toner. And along here, same thing. And in fact, actually you can see, I don't know if you can see that or not, it raised a little bit right here as well. I'm not really sure how I'm going to deal with that, or if I am. But it was a little disappointing, but well, I guess these things do happen, so I'm going to leave this clamped. I'm using like the strongest Tight Bond 3 on this one, and I did break down, and since I now have a local Rockler store a couple miles up the road, I broke down and bought a syringe gluing kit. I did end up needing to pry a little bit. The piece under here actually ended up flaking off, but it fit back together, which is actually fine because I needed to get a lot of glue under there. Ended up having to pry this up a bit to get the glue down in there. I tried using a piece of thin plastic, but I just couldn't get one that was thin enough to fit down in there and strong enough not to bend up. So I did have to carefully pry it, but with that and the syringe I was able to get lots of glue down there, so I'm hoping it'll stay. And so my plans here for this are to sand some of this down, get it a little bit lighter. As you can see, I did have this masked off. Thank goodness for hobby masking tape. And I had this masked off. The problem I was having with this was it just even when I was afraid that when I was going to put the clear on here, the brown was kind of a dull, kind of a lifeless brown. So the point of putting some more yellow-based toner in here was so I could give it a little warmth, which I did do. It's just a lot darker than I had expected it to turn out. So I am a little bit hesitant, but because of this, I'm having the same issue, I think, visually with this portion. Not so much, a little more also with this portion. I'm going to hit this with pine color, which is pretty much just a yellow, but it's not like a bright modern yellow. It's the lightest dye-tinted toner that Mohawk has in the classic toners. So hopefully this won't turn out too dark. And I think because I like these sets, I've seen several examples of this set, and originally the finish on this particular set was dark. I don't know if that had to do with the age and the dirt, but even when I had removed the dirt, it was still pretty dark. So I'm going to leave the front part. I'm going to try to not take any of it off of this one. I may put on some perfect brown. I'm staying with the dye base because I really don't like the muddy look of the pigment toners. I don't like it. So like I said, I'm hoping the pine won't be too dark. I may hit this since it's a little on the lighter side. I don't know. I'll see what this looks like when I rub off some of the toned lacquer. I may hit this with a darker brown. I may not. So just wanted to give you an update on that, and like I said, a bummer about the peeling veneer. That was irritating. So I'm gonna continue on with the chassis. Like I said, I had spent a couple hours with this last night, in between coats. I do like the warmth of it though, and I do like the way the grain filler did darken the grain on this. And hopefully it'll be nice when it's a little lighter, so you can see these. This is two different pieces, and I like the way they matched it up, for considering this was kind of a cheap radio. But anywho, so there's that, and I'll be back in a few with some more updates on the chassis. Well, deja vu, gentlemen. I've got the volume control out, and as you can see here, it's going to dance all over the place. It should be at close to 500K when it's down to nothing. And like I said, it's dancing all over the place. Towards the end, of course, it seems to work just fine, but I doubt very highly that this radio was ever turned up as loud as I'm turning the control here. So yeah. 3 times the charm, I guess. So that's about all I'm getting there at when it's turned all the way down. So good thing I bought 2 of these 500Ks when I bought it. This is the granted it's in metric, but it should be the same length. So excuse me. Apparently I need a new respirator for my lacquer spraying, because I've been coughing all day. So anyhow, been a fun evening messing with this, and I've got just about everything pulled out of this thing. But I have plenty of room to be replacing the wires now, so I wanted to show you guys this too. So I'm assuming this has to do with noise, but if you take a look at this 0.25 microfarad cap here, it's got this black wire that's wrapped around it twice, and then it attaches up here to ground. And the other end of it actually connects to the ground. Well, it's connecting to the center cap of the octal tube. Wonder if that's some sort of a bridge to I don't know, because it's connecting over here as well, and then this one connects over to the coil. Well, I'm sure it's there for a reason. I just thought it was interesting. I'm sure somebody will pop up and tell me what it is. Otherwise, it will be a fun mystery for now. But I'm assuming when I replace it, I should probably do the same thing. So, anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. I went ahead, I don't normally put this stuff away when I have got loose wires everywhere, but I am tired. And I mapped everything out, so hopefully I can put it back together. No, it's fine. Like I said, all I really did was disconnect all the stuff for the switches. This mica cap is good, by the way. Anywho, so I guess I will call it a night, because I do not want to rewire this yet, because I need to get down in here and replace some more wires. And the only way I could actually get the top of the second IF can off, since it's held down with nuts, is to basically to keep that volume control out of there. So, and then I could also get at these caps. Anyway, we're gonna call it a night. I think I'll go ahead and upload this, just make it a short video. The gluing is done on the cabinet, so I'll go ahead and start sanding off some of that toned lacquer and lighten it up. But, whew. Anyway, have a good night. Talk to you later.